Hello there and welcome back. For those of us who bought the Deluxe or Ultimate Edition, Diablo IV is out now. Intel also released new Iris Xe drivers shortly after the Server Slam on the 16th of May 2023. So it's time to have another look at the gameplay on the Surface Pro 8 i5 16GB. Gonna see if the issues we had with the graphical glitches are ironed out. Before we start, a quick shout out to Joshua14, who already did some tests on the Surface Pro 9 with i7 and Surface Pro 8 with i7. When we were playing at the Server Slam, performance felt good and playable, but we encountered some issues with the graphics. Some icons would glitch out, a random texture would sometimes be seen all over the screen, and our avatar in the character menu could be obscured by a big one-colored blob. Now, the good news, most of these problems seem to be no longer an issue. A quick look at our settings. We're playing at 1440 by 900 desktop resolution. XESS is set to performance and all settings are at low or lowest possible. Alright, let's have a look at the performance. Just like a few weeks ago, FPS feel fine in the Overworld, with maybe some minor stutters, but nothing too bad. An event with multiple mobs didn't seem to bring down the frame rate by much either. Frames are at a stable and surprising 50 to 60 FPS here, with only minor drops. Now to the more important part, and fortunately it's the same in the dungeon. Even with multiple mobs and 2 followers, we're getting very playable 50 to 60 FPS again, with no big issues here.
I lack the needed mana. I will finish these runes. You must stop this!
It's also the same with the boss fight. Frame rate starts out at 60 FPS, stays playable throughout, no big stutters or issues. Now, the character would sometimes turn green, but this apparently isn't an issue with the Surface or Intel, since it can also occur with other GPUs, like on an NVIDIA GeForce 4070. Now this is where the FPS drop. Probably because of all the details in the homes and shops, plus all the players running around, the FPS get pushed down to 20s and 30s, 40s, mostly 40s though. Same as the town, the cutscenes often are very low FPS compared to normal gameplay. This is an issue we also encountered with FIFA 23, where gameplay was great, but cutscenes performance would drop.
Fate's hand. There is nothing we can do about it.
So, it's not all sunshine and blood-covered petals though. There still are some issues, but they didn't hamper my experience by a lot. The most annoying thing would be some stutter and hard frame rate drops on rare occasions. Apparently when loading new locations, like running around in town, but it also happened one time while in a dungeon. But to be fair, that could have been because of some program in the background, since I had a pop-up from the surface pen right before the stutter happened in the dungeon. And fortunately it wasn't long enough to be an issue for my gameplay, and it only happened only once outside of town, but keep that in mind. Then there are still a few graphical bugs. The most glaring one would be the lower than normal shadow quality as seen on the avatar in the character menu or in the main menu. And just like with the old drivers, if you would change your graphical settings while in-game, some of the issues like the colored blob on the menus could resurface. So, would I recommend it now? Since its release, or early release, I've exclusively played Diablo IV on my Surface Pro 8, even though there's a big gaming rig right next to it. The gameplay is not always perfectly smooth, but it was enough to be enjoyable. Playing with a controller was also surprisingly good, which is something I thought I'd never say about a Diablo game. It was so good in fact that I never put down the controller for the connected mouse and keyboard. So yeah, it's enjoyable. Graphical bugs are rare enough to be a minor inconvenience, as long as you don't fiddle around with the graphic settings while in game. The occasional frame rate drop didn't happen very often for me, and the performance is still great. Overall, if you can live with the minor issues, yeah, go for it. So that's it for me. I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions or feedback, please leave a comment down below. And for more on Diablo IV on the Surface, don't forget to check out Joshua 14's gameplay videos. Also don't forget to check out r/Surface Gaming on Reddit. Link is in the description. If you liked the video, make your voice heard by choosing that like button. Thanks for watching, keep Surface Gaming, and see you next time.